Okay, so one of the reasons why people fail their driving test here in Horsforth is because of the way they deal with oncoming cars. So what you've got, excuse me, when you're driving your car here, you've got what we call obstruction, what some people call meet and greet, what some people call the holdback position. So what happens over here, when cars are going down, you'll find a bus or a lorry or something in a few minutes that goes past each other. So over here, if there was a lorry, it would have to wait, because if you look at these cars going down this road, they're going over the line, aren't they?
Yeah.
So if they're going over the line and on the opposite side there's a car coming, like that one that's slowing down.
Because that's too bigger than...
That's right, yeah. So he's slowing down for him, isn't he? Now the problem is, when you are coming down this road, so when you are coming down this road and they're coming up this road, somebody has to give. Now it's usually on the left hand side. If the obstruction is on your side of the road, on their side there is no obstruction, you are then supposed to carry on unless that car in front of you is committed to coming up the road. Let's say the obstruction is on your side, then you would wait until it's safe for you to go through if they have no obstruction that side. So first of all, we discuss priorities. If the obstruction is on your side, you're waiting. If the obstruction is on their side, they are waiting. But if the obstruction is on both sides, then nobody has right of way.
Right.
Then whoever's committed first would go first. Okay. Now, as you're going down this road, you'd become a cluster of cars. Now these two, he's overtaking the bike, but this Golf and this BMW, they're a cluster, they're together. But if there's more than 3 car spaces between you and the car in front, when you're going through an area like this, you are not a part of their cluster. That means if them 2 cars are waiting for a car that has stopped for them, so let's say where that black car is there, a car waits, and 2 cars in front of you are very close together and you are a distance away from them, you are supposed to let them carry on and go through, and you stop to let the car that stopped for them opposite you to come through. Then you would go. Now you can only see this if you slow your car down and analyze driver behavior.
Yeah.
So what you do when you're driving your car is you follow the road ahead. You'd look at what cars are doing. Now we can see that big lorry coming up the road, and if you look behind you, there's that black Jeep. Now that black Jeep, now the lorry will either stop, and if he doesn't stop, he's going to go through and he's going to have to stop. You can see that learner car slowing down now, can't you? The learner car's pulled in behind us. Now you can see that lorry there, that van's supposed to stop to let him through, because the van was not a part of the cluster with the lorry. Do you understand what I mean? So he wasn't a part of them, so he's supposed to wait. Then whoever waited to let him, now when he came through, somebody had to wait for him.
Yeah.
So when that van and that car went through, then he would carry on. Technically the blue car that's coming up the road now would
wait
stop
again, and then the next lot would come through, then
that's,
their lot would come.
So they're called cluster of cars. So what you've got to do when you're approaching places like these is first of all look at where you are with the line, to see whether you are going over the line. If you are getting close to the line and he's going over the line, you're going to crash.
Yeah.
It's very, very important that you realise that. Also on your driving test, if you're coming here at Horsforth, and you are, when you're moving off from a standstill here, what you must remember is when you're moving off, if the car behind you stops, he might not be stopping for you, he'll be stopping for the cluster of cars. So you think, he's let me go, and you signal right and you move off. You don't realise he's stopping for the transit van.
Yeah.
He's stopping for another van. So it's important that you realise when you're moving off from a standstill in Horsforth that you're very, very careful with what's going on. You'll see the red car waiting for the white car. The white car slowed down to let the big van through. He sneaked through. He shouldn't have gone through the Audi.
Yeah.
Did you understand what I mean?
So on the 3 car space.
Yeah. Now it can be 10 cars that go through at one time. It can be 20 cars. It doesn't matter about the amount of cars, but they've got to be clustered very, very close together. And that's something you don't see. You just see a car stopping or going. So make sure it's right. Now that van should stop, but he's playing GTA. He's just going straight through.
Van man.
Yeah, exactly. But what you need to do is you need to kind of have a look. Now for your driving test, that'd be unacceptable. Now the reason why it would be unacceptable, you need to make sure that there is a minimum of 1 door length between you and the car on the left. If there is anything less than half a meter, which is let's say 50 centimeters, that big, then you must stop your car. Are we absolutely clear? Does that make sense?
That makes a lot more sense.